everything is ruined. Some of us don't got food. Well, all of us don't got food. None of us got clothing.
Central Florida knows the devastation hurricanes bring.
Oh my God! Firefighters made a break in this part of the cinder block wall as well. And take a look past me there. You can see how deep the water is.
After Ian and Nicole in 2022, Idalia in 2023, and Helene and Milton in 2024, Florida avoided a direct hit last year. But that's no excuse to let your guard down.
Thing that we can do to help our residents, our businesses become more resilient and more prepared.
I didn't want to drown, and this is new to me, and I didn't know what to do.
Our first warning weather team is getting you ready for the season.
We studied about 5 different seasons that seemingly have the same setup as this year.
We're connecting you with key resources so you know who to turn to after a storm if you need help.
And what local government agencies are doing to prepare.
This is Surviving the Season 2026, the WESH 2 Hurricane Special with Stuart Moore and Michelle Imperato.
Hurricanes have battered Central Florida for the last decade. Matthew, Irma, Ian, Nicole, Milton.
And if you were here, you remember the catastrophic inland flooding, the destruction of our coastline.
If you weren't, well, that's why getting and staying prepared for hurricane season is critical.
WESH 2 News is helping you survive the season. From the beginning of June all the way until the end of November, our first warning weather team is keeping track of any storm heading our way. We begin with Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi and the hurricane season outlook.
Here's the forecast now for the 2026 hurricane season. A normal would be 14 named storms, 7 hurricanes, and 3 major hurricanes. With this developing El Nino, we think those numbers are going to be at or slightly below that average. 9 to 13 named storms, 4 to 6 hurricanes, and about 1 to 3 major hurricanes. Now, the reason why we think those numbers are going to be lower is because of a developing El Nino. Now, a lot of people ask us about those numbers. How does the April forecast compare to, let's say, later forecasts like August? Well, there is certainly less accuracy, as you can see here, versus the forecast versus the final numbers in April. However, let me take you to August. Check this out. Look at how good the final numbers stack up from the forecast in August. You know, every once in a while, 2020, you have one bad year, but overall, that August forecast is usually very, very good. Now, El Nino, what is it? That means the waters are warmer there in the eastern Pacific. It means the upper level winds are stronger across the tropical Atlantic. And it also means a reduction in the number of overall storms because of that strong upper level wind shear. Now, you take a look at the years where there's a strong El Nino, look at the number of storms, considerably lower for the most part than the average. So that's why we're leaning towards the lower number. Hey, let's take a look at the list of names. Arthur begins it. Middle of the list, Leah. Towards the end is Wilfred. One final thought. We throw a lot of numbers at you, but really at the end of the day, we don't want you to focus in on the number of storms being forecasted. We want you to focus on the possibility of one storm headed our way. And we're going to do that here year-round for you, right here with WESH, on air and online.
State and local governments are warning people not to wait until the last minute to get hurricane ready.
First warning meteorologist Victoria Wisniewski shows us how they are helping people prepare before, during, and after a storm.
It only takes one. We don't care if we have 10 storms, 30 storms, it doesn't matter. We want every Floridian to be ready for their one.
Florida is no stranger to some of the worst nature has to offer, bearing the brunt of nearly 40% of all U.S. hurricanes, more than any state in the nation.
We know it's an unavoidable fact of life in our state.
We're also one of the largest growing populations, increasing by 7 million residents since the year 2000. And many of our older residents have settled in Flagler County. Now a permanent standalone shelter is at their fairgrounds. Jonathan Lord is the county's emergency management director and says it's one of the ways they're leading the way.
I know statewide they're looking to try to find other opportunities like this to build facilities that can serve as shelters in other communities so we're not so reliant just on public schools.
These investments give Flagler County the tools to recover, but it can't be done alone.
We're all such small teams taking care of our communities. We all actually rely and communicate with each other all the time.
As the state of Florida continues to invest in ways to keep you safe during hurricane season, it's actually on-the-ground response that matters most, and it starts in this warehouse.
The Florida Central Operations Coordination Office is centrally located in Florida. We have access to many of the main thoroughways throughout the state of Florida, so we can do quick deployments, and we can get stuff out of this warehouse facility quickly and where they need to be in a moment's notice.
How big is this place?
This warehouse is 423,000 square feet. It is housing 3.5 million gallons of water and 2 million shelf-stable meals.
And location is everything. Sitting off I-4 in Auburndale, halfway between Tampa and Orlando, this facility is an expansion of previous response centers, now all under one roof.
We're going to be there. We're going to be ready to respond. We're going to be responding through the disaster, during the disaster. Just because the winds are howling and the waves are crashing doesn't mean that this facility stops.
That commitment only goes so far without you meeting them halfway. Do you know your evacuation zone? What about having a plan for every person in your household? Officials say your kit should sustain your family for 5 to 7 days. Water, food, medication, and a way to receive alerts without power. And stocking that kit just got easier. Florida has made everything from tarps and generators to batteries and shelf-stable food tax-free year-round, no deadline.
We're ready. You can see it in this warehouse. We need you to be ready.
The investments and plans are in place. And while Central Florida is doing its part, doing yours may ultimately save your life. Meteorologist Victoria Wisniewski, WESH 2 News.
When disaster strikes, there are nonprofit groups willing to help. This senior community in Lake County flooded after Hurricane Milton, forcing people out of their homes. LASER, short for Lake Support and Emergency Recovery, stepped in. First Warning meteorologist Cam Tran was there as one woman walked into her brand new home.
Do you want to look around?
Can't believe it.
For the first time in nearly 2 years, Sandy Roberts walked into her brand new home in Lake County.
Never thought I'd have anything so nice.
Emotions took over as Sandy saw her new kitchen, floors, and bathroom.
It's hard to take in.
The hurricane may have done you wrong, but came out on the other end with a lot of help from...
Yeah, I couldn't live in my house.
In October 2024, Hurricane Milton dumped more than a foot of rain in Lake County. Water from a nearby lake reached the front steps of Sandy's Emerald Lake home. She evacuated and stayed with her daughter Patty until floodwaters receded. When she returned, her air conditioner was damaged and her home was filled with mold, making it unlivable. Her family reached out to the nonprofit Lake Support and Emergency Recovery, or LASER, for help.
Any phone call that comes into the EOC that pertains to private property comes directly to LASER. So we're able to walk each of those individuals through what they should be doing, or if we may have volunteer teams in that we can pull in from all over the nation to be able to remove debris from your home immediately, place tarps on your home immediately.
Brandy Martin is the executive director of LASER. The group helps Lake County homeowners rebuild after natural disasters. LASER also assists with funding, but Sandy's home was beyond the budget.
The repairs that were needed in this home far exceeded what I could be able to pay to repair the home, which in turn was why Rebuild Florida was the perfect resource for us to point them to and to walk them through the process.
With the rebuild, contractors raised the home 2.5 feet higher and added tie-downs to protect it from the winds since it was a mobile home.
Before Hurricane Milton, Sandy's air conditioning unit was on the ground like this, but then the floodwaters came and covered half the unit in water. But now with the rebuild, Sandy's AC unit is now 42 inches off the ground. This should keep it safe from any future flooding.
Builders also made the home more handicap accessible since Sandy, who is in her 80s, uses a walker.
Brandy and LASER made sure that we knew to ask for those things and did all the paperwork with us, and things we would have never known about or guessed or even had a clue, and she just walked us through everything.
Most importantly, working with LASER gave the family a peace of mind during a vulnerable time.
She just felt that she was there to guide us and reassure us that we weren't being scammed. More than anything, and that's super important, especially with her age. You know, people take advantage.
I can't wait to get in here.
Cam Tran, WESH 2 News.
After repeated flooding wiped out homes, sometimes the best solution is to let them go.
It's good for the insurance, it's good for all of us.
How local governments approach buying out properties and turning them into floodplains. Plus, getting hurricane ready with home insurance. What a broker says many homeowners fail to check when going through their policy.
Federal funds from previous storms are being spent on preventing future flood disasters.
Roads in many Central Florida communities go underwater every time there's a big storm. First Warning Chief Meteorologist Tony Manalfi explains how Seminole and Volusia counties are using flood buyback programs to address the issue.
We've seen it time and time again, as recently as Milton in 2024. Flooding devastation after hurricanes hit Central Florida. We're in Lake Harney. You can see the water level on this home up over 7 feet. That is causing counties to take a new approach on how to mitigate flooding.
If a home continues to repetitively flood over and over and over again, we want to get that individual out of hazards. It's good for them, it's good for their stress level, it's good for the insurance, it's good for all of us.
Seminole County Emergency Manager Alan Harris says the county uses federal funds to buy flood-prone properties. He says it's just not worth it to repair or rebuild some homes, like this one.
It raises all of our insurance costs. We've seen insurance companies leave the state of Florida. It's just a great burden. It's a great burden also on first responders having to respond out continuously, storm after storm after storm.
The burden now on some of the families who need to move.
Heartbroken. I'm sorry. We moved from Maryland to move here, and we never thought that we would have our home taken from us and have to move again.
Earlier this year, Volusia County leaders voted to purchase Cassandra Geller's home in DeLand and tear it down. Several homes along Orange Camp Road will likely turn into a retention pond to help mitigate flooding. And it's a similar story in Daytona Beach's Midtown neighborhood.
I know people where I was living at, where homes got flooded out. Lost everything, whole house wiped out. I had to start back over.
2 years ago, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers launched a study to find ways to reduce flooding. This past May, they determined there is no simple or affordable fix. Daytona Beach would need major federal funding, but the project likely doesn't qualify because it isn't considered an economically justified plan. Engineers recommended the city buy out roughly 40 of the most flood-prone homes.
But if I said that I was anything, and I speak for this city, anything less than absolutely heartbroken right now, I would be lying.
It's heartbreaking for those who lived there for ages, but necessary. And local government agencies say they're willing to do whatever it takes to keep people safe.
The mitigation programs open up on periods of time, so we wait until the next open period. Now, after a hurricane, there are funds that come down, different mitigation funds. So there's a lot of different mitigation funds.
This is my road.
Tony Manalfi, WESH 2 News.
You want to make sure you are covered by insurance if a hurricane damages your home.
First Warning meteorologist Eric Burris asked an insurance broker what homeowners often overlook when picking a policy.
It's the moment it all matters, when a hurricane hits. You've done all you can to prepare your home, but how protected are you if your home gets damaged? Could you rebuild? Do you know what you'd have to pay? It's Brooke Murren's job to make sure people are covered and to know what they're on the hook for. She's an insurance broker with Goosehead Insurance, and she said the most common thing people struggle with is the hurricane deductible. It's not the same as your all hazards deductible.
So a hurricane deductible standard in Florida is going to be 2%, not, $1,000 or the $2,500 that you see.
This is important because simple math shows, let's say your home is valued at $300,000. Just for insurance to kick in, your deductible would be $6,000. That's much more than homeowners expect to be on the hook for. And if you have a screened-in pool, guess what? The enclosure is an endorsable item, meaning if you don't have it explicitly written into your policy, it may not be covered if it's damaged in a storm. And then there's flooding in a hurricane.
Flood coverage is a separate policy that has to be purchased. If you're not in a flood zone, they're typically pretty affordable.
So the important thing right now to know is, yes, this can be confusing. Murren understands that, so heading into hurricane season,
I always recommend clients review your policy. If you have any questions, you can reach out to your carrier or your insurance broker, kind of go through it line by line again.
She says don't feel pressured to memorize all the fine print, but it's important to know in general what your policy covers, should the worst happen to you.
Whoa.
Eric Burris, WESH 2 News.
Our first warning weather team spent months tracking weather patterns, narrowing down hot spots for the next big storm. The WESH 2 exclusive seasonal forecast. Next on Surviving the Season.
Storm impacts to Florida vary depending on which direction the hurricane hits. Coming in from the Gulf, the biggest danger along the coast is storm surge.
Storms coming in from the Atlantic bring more powerful winds and rain. First warning meteorologist Marquise Mita takes us to two coasts with two different threats.
When hurricanes take aim at Florida, where they hit matters. The Gulf Coast and the Atlantic coast face completely different threats, and history shows us why. In the last 25 years, many storms on the Atlantic side turned into fish storms, never touching land. Dr. Phil Klotzbach with Colorado State University says the Gulf Coast sees more activity when it comes to hurricanes making landfall in Florida.
We've seen a lot of storms hitting Florida, say in the Gulf Coast, that have been rapidly intensifying upon approach. I mean, obviously a recent example that would be Hurricane Helene from 2024. It's like Hurricane Michael in 2018.
Still, hurricanes on the Atlantic side can cause serious damage. Francis and Jean in 2004 brought days of pounding rain, strong winds, and tornadoes. In 2022, Nicole, which was a Category 1, proved a weaker storm can pack a punch.
This ain't my first hurricane, but this one took me down. This one got me.
We saw significant wave activity and water level rises along our coastline that led to extensive erosion up and down our coastline.
Will Ulrich with the National Weather Service in Melbourne says storm duration, location, and angle of approach impact storm risk and damage.
So critical to evaluate your risk for each of those hazards every time a tropical system heads our way.
Now to the Gulf Coast, where the biggest threat is the water itself. Matt Anderson with the National Weather Service in Tampa says Gulf-side hurricanes often rapidly intensify.
The reason why we may see a little bit more rapid intensification is just how shallow the waters are in the Gulf. Just off the coast here, you can go several miles off the coast and you're still in less than 100 feet of water. It's very shallow compared to the other coasts.
He says shallow waters heat up faster, making storms more powerful. Gulf storms also drive storm surge into coastal communities.
As we're standing here on Bayshore Boulevard, we had Hurricane Helene, which was like 120 miles offshore, so way offshore. It only rained an inch or two here, but we got 7 feet of storm surge in the very spot that we're standing. So you can just imagine that the water that we're looking out here now raising up another 7 to maybe even potentially 8 feet, just how much damage that would cause as it raises up that high and moves inland.
And that impact stretches into central Florida.
Even with Milton, it made landfall over here, but it impacted the east coast of Florida because they got flooding over there. So, rainfall, rainfall, rainfall.
So no matter which coast you call home or how active the season is, it only takes one storm to make it a dangerous one. So now's the time to have a plan. Marquise Mita, WESH 2 News.
Each year, our First Warning weather team works on their own exclusive seasonal forecast, predicting when the next big storm might hit.
We're in the Weather Center with meteorologist Eric Burris, who crunches all that data for the 2026 long-range forecast. Eric, what are you seeing?
A lot of differences from the last few years. All right, so before we get into the numbers, let's just look at areas I think the 2026 season will favor for development and landfall. Now, keep in mind, this is just highlighted areas that I think have a slightly above average risk, from about the Tampa, St. Pete area up the Big Bend through parts of the Panhandle. I've watched a lot of our weather makers kind of take this pathway. And then up to the Carolinas, this is always an area that gets about one a year, but this year I think it's going to be more of a hot spot, okay? So those two are the big areas that I'm watching for landfall potential. In terms of the numbers, average named storms, 14, 7 hurricanes, 3 majors. I'm forecasting a slightly below average season, 9 to 13 named storms, 4 to 6 hurricanes, and 1 to 3 major hurricanes.
Eric, a lot of work goes into putting together a forecast this far in advance. Can you give us some insight into the research that you do?
I started it in September of 2025, and that's the way it always works. You go through the fall, you go through winter and spring. You look at all of the broad patterns, and let's just start with the big one over in the Pacific. La Nina fades, and we are now heading into an El Nino year. That typically suppresses Atlantic tropical activity. But then you also have to look at analogs or historically similar patterns. So over the years, for the last about 150 years, I found about 8 seasons that left 2 La Ninas heading toward an El Nino. And these were the pathways that I found during those years. If you look, that kind of follows those hot spots that I highlighted, right? So there's some logic to that. And then over the winter into spring, I found 4 main parts of the overall weather pattern, and look at where they go. Half of them in the Gulf worked into the Big Bend. The other half either recurved out of the Caribbean to the Atlantic or kind of scraped up across the Carolina coast.
People can't let their guard down because they hear below average. We've had active seasons because it only takes one storm.
Think about Andrew. The first named storm was in August. It ended up being a Category 5 into Miami-Dade County. Changed the way we build buildings here in Florida forever. Charlie, Francis, and Jean, that was during an El Nino year. So no matter what the number is, you need to be prepared. One storm impacts one person, it's a bad year for them.
And it's better to be safe than sorry. Get prepared now. That's all we're asking.
Absolutely.
All right, whatever hurricane season throws at us, be prepared by downloading the WESH 2 Hurricane Survival Guide. Inside, you'll find all the advice you need to get ready, from what belongs in a hurricane kit to the emergency contacts to have in your phone right now.
It's all online on WESH.com. From the entire WESH 2 News and First Warning weather team, let's make it a safe hurricane season.